Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Duskmourn Chronicles. We continue our journey to the dark side and beyond, by the sounds of things. If last week's episode was anything to go by. And to give us a recap of what happened last week, it is Dice of Destiny says number 6, which is Brendan.
Well, we crawled out into a safe space away from this kind of madness, chaotic explosions and encroaching thugs from this compound. And we kind of most of us dragged ourselves into a little side room, and we kind of hid there for a little bit with some clever disguises to try and figure out what we were going to do. Avaradis, however, he kind of cast Dimension Door, grabbed little Aru, and teleported 500 feet away to try and raise an army of slaves to come and rain fire and vengeance down upon Selkos and his crew. And that didn't quite go so well. So he managed to get 90 kind of elderly slaves, and he decided to march them back to Selkos's compound and try and, do something with those slaves. In the end, Selkos invited Avaradis to join his band of merry men in the place of some poor old guy whose head he just exploded. And Avaradis said, "You're all right. Long may the chaos continue." He also put on a ring of some description, which does something, and we don't know what. So for the rest of us, hiding in Doran's tiny temple and trying to figure out what to do, Gottfried was scanning this whole situation with his aberrant mind and reading Selkos's mind, who he was expecting a surprise attack at any moment. We eventually decided, Gemini and Gottfried, to go and speak to Selkos and try and buy our way past him. And that is where we pick up today.
There you go. So he's just threatened that if you don't offer him a decent bargain, he will find and kill your child, Gemini.
Yeah, you see Gemini steal herself. She has dealt with vile human beings like him before. And so she grits her teeth and she smiles. And you can see, her shoulders are back. She's giving all the charm, all the elegance that she doesn't usually turn on for just the lads. And she's going to say, "I have a bargain for you. We may not be great at brute strength, but we are expert treasure hunters. We have observed that you seem to have quite a few things about your person that are full of magical and wonderful things, and I can only think that you're somebody who values those things. And clearly you're a gentleman of great taste. We can help you get more of those things. In fact, if you let us beyond your compound here, we can go deeper than you've probably ever been before." And she's going to wink at him.
Okay. Would you please give me a persuasion check with advantage?
Okay.
Because he's thinking that 3.5 inches? That's pretty deep.
Yeah, I bet he is. Okay, the second roll was much better. That's a 16 plus 8, so that's 24.
You are offering to go into the tombs and retrieve things for me.
We are.
And what do you get out of it?
We have a small thing that I doubt would be of interest to you that we would like to try and find ourselves. But there are many treasures, many that you wish you could keep your eyes on, that we would be happy to give to you.
He turns to you, Avaradis. What do you think of this deal?
I think you can do better.
Oh, fuck you.
Gemini is thinking of all the ways she is going to torture Avaradis right now.
Mm-hmm.
He turns back to Gemini.
Only Gottfried could read my mind.
And he looks at you. It is a very tempting offer. I will not argue this with you. However, this small item of yours that is of no value to me everything that you retrieve from these tombs. I get to choose from what I keep. That way, if what you say you are after is of no value, I will not choose to keep it, and it is yours.
In the course of all that, was there any deviation from what he said and what he was thinking?
No, his constant thought is, where is the surprise attack coming from? I would like you to give me an insight check, please, Gottfried.
Sure. I wish I could show you this. It's a natural fucking 20.
Beautiful.
So that's 22.
There is something that's nagging in your mind. His thoughts have not wavered once in all of your detections. But even the detecting of thoughts is like getting an impression, but it is still as if someone is showing you an impression of their thoughts. But there would always be slight deviations in that. You would imagine that the first time he says in his mind, he's thinking, where is the surprise attack coming from? His thoughts might drift to maybe it's going to be the south corner of the compound. Maybe it might be from the air. Maybe it might be psychological. You'd expect him to be running through scenarios. But it is literally the same identical thought every single time. Combine that with the fact that he seems to be impervious to magic, such a simple spell, which is so revealing.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to be adding up.
Yeah, I'm not getting his real thoughts. Shit. Okay. There's not much I can do about that.
So do we have a bargain?
Gemini will look to her companion, Gottfried, to see if she can glean anything from him or if he has any input.
I will telepathically ping you a thought. I can't really read him, but make the deal. We just won't give him what he wants.
What is Doran doing whilst all this is going on?
Well, the surprise attack is no.
Doran comes in this
In
talk.
comes a flying Doran, with his kilt flapping around his ankles.
Yeah.
I mean, is there space enough for me to be airborne in this underground cavern, guy? To kind of
Not a huge amount of space. It's 50 foot above, so there is room, but you're not performing loop-de-loops and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just all I'm thinking to do is I'm speaking with Kelly to try and get them into an advantageous martial position, just in case shit hits the fan and we need to get out of there. And I'm just trying to gather some information. So I've activated my steps of the night, and I'm within dim light. I can fly for a minute, and I'm just trying to peek into the darkness of the compound with my 420-foot dark vision. By the way. Do I see anything telling in there? A shrine, perhaps? Or something which would indicate that this is not really all that it seems?
It does look surreal, because it is this paradise at the end of hell. Insofar as it's clean, it's neat, it's well-maintained. The doors are not just made out of scraps of ancient cloth that have been left to get eaten by moths. They're actual doors. There are guards on patrol. They are vigilant. You can see that there are 3 perfect clusters of men hiding in rather odd positions, until you consider that if you were going to be launching a secret ambush, you would pour over the walls at the lowest points and then find yourselves bottlenecked and being ambushed by these individuals that are hiding. So they are anticipating an arrival of individuals, but their new tactic is to let you think you're winning and then to actually clobber you.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing any indicator that there's anything untoward here, other than this is a criminal mastermind's compound. And you do see at the far back of the compound, however, a very large pile of broken rock and sand and dust, and then a fairly large opening in the back end of the wall. It looks as if someone has dug through an old wall and, yeah.
Would a dwarf recognize a mine type thing?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, well, I will fly back down, and I will take up position nearby Gottfried and Gemini, but I don't want to appear too threatening. I can see that this is on a knife point, a knife's edge. It can go either way, but I am ready in case something kicks off to jump in.
Gemini?
You drive a hard bargain, Selkos, but I can see that you are a man of great foresight, and so it would be remiss of me not to agree to such a bargain.
You have...
A moment of your time, my liege.
You have done very well. Hold your tongue. He turns back to you, Gemini and Gottfried, and now Doran. Do not feel as if you have been undone by your former ally. He is merely fulfilling his function as my thinking right hand.
He is your thinker.
Yes.
I should not have thought somebody of your great intelligence would need somebody advising you. You clearly have great brains without him beside you.
You think I should get rid of him?
Well,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, totally. You get rid of that guy right now, man. Just get rid of him.
well, I think many things of this individual, but I do know he is a great asset to our treasure hunting team. Would you be so kind as to release him for now so we can use him in our exploration? And then see if you really need him when we return.
He turns back to you, Everardus. I don't know. What do I think?
Oh no.
Control yourself.
I really want to, Maurice. I really do.
My lord, my humble, most generous benefactor. What can I say, but I think your ambitions are too low yet again.
You do not wish to accompany your former
no, don't get-
associates.
Don't get me wrong, I am a great asset to all parties I partake in. I would travel with them, but I would want you to be left with something to mull over in my absence. Beyond this conflict of ours, have you not thought of why we turned up so poorly armed, so outmaneuvered by yourself? Surely it was not to challenge you and merely... We underestimated you on our way to these treasures, but we have with us a platoon, a troop of Sajeti warriors who have been loaned to us by the Emperor. Surely our mission is more important. Perhaps you and your ambitions could fall in alignment with our most vital goal. See where this benefits you.
That is disappointing. I had such high hopes for you. I told you I don't believe in humans, or in elves, or in dwarves, or in gnomes. Any bargain is merely a purchase of time. That is what your beautiful companion has purchased. She has purchased time. You have purchased time by being my thinking man. And so far, 2 out of 3 is not bad. But I wouldn't push it any further. He turns to his lieutenant. Let them in. They're going treasure hunting.
We also have our backup. Are you happy for us all to pass through?
But of
We are a better
course,
team with more.
Absolutely. Bring them all in.
You are most kind. I doubt he ever hears that.
He never hears that. The doors open and the lieutenant is standing there looking miserable. Do you 3 go in?
Yeah, I'm going to turn to Doran and nod, assuming that he has contact with.
Doran,
the
Carolee
rest
looks
of
at
the
you.
here.
This is a trap. This is no good.
This is Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to kill us all the moment we step through that door.
Gotta believe in a man's greed. He looks like the type of person who would do anything for trinkets and relics. Do we believe in his greed more than his vengeance?
If only to use up some of this guy's power, I'm going to try and, as the detect thoughts run out, pry again. Force him to make another effort of will.
21.
Oh, Bob. Okay.
Oh, one thing, he says to you, Everardus. You tell that wizard to stop trying to read my mind, or I will eat his.
A wish is my command.
He doesn't even come down to greet the 3 of you. He simply sends Everardus, go find whatever, bring it back. And if you don't come back, I will find her child, and I will eat it.
Understood.
He's lovely. Okay.
Before Doran walks into this guy's house, I'm not going to do anything rash. Before you guys worry, I'm not Apparatus. I mean, my spidey senses are tingling here a little bit. You know, as a cleric, this feels otherworldly. This doesn't look like a man. And before I walk in, I want to look up at Selkos and finger my cross a little bit, my crucifix, my holy symbol, and just.
She prefers to get
Sorry,
popped.
Grace.
Sorry. Carry on fingering your cross.
The finger.
You clutch.
slowly.
Yes. Anyway,
So Doran is busy rubbing his hand up and down his cross.
Stop it, man. You're not helping.
As all good clerics do. He's going to say, who are you? Before I walk into your home, you've made a deal with my friend, but something's not right about you. I would know who we've made a deal with. Is it Selkos or is it someone else? And I'm going to pierce Selkos with my dwarven gaze and challenge him to reveal his true identity. And hope to God it's not Damnifer.
and you're using the power of words?
The power of my
Friendship.
fingering cross power.
The power of
I'm not
Christ
I'm not
tells
I'm
me.
not I'm not familiar with that power.
I'm trying to use maybe a religious sense here to try and like push my religious sense out there, if that's such a thing, or insight. Insight. I'm trying to read between the lines here a little bit, guy.
Okay. All right. I will allow you to give me either a medicine or an insight check.
Ooh, interesting.
I think insight makes the most sense because I've been listening to his words. So, incoming 16.
Yeah, with a 16, he's just this horrid, old, Sagetti, corpulent individual who he's got it all. He's got his empire. And you think he's definitely smart enough to know that all of the sweet talking of Everardus of gaining more power would make him a small fish in a big pond again. Currently, he is the shark of this pond. And he's quite happy where he is. But you are right. There is something that doesn't seem right about him. There's a confidence that, it just seems unnatural.
Okay.
If you prod me in the direction of those thoughts, Dorian, I'm pretty good with medicine.
Yeah, sure. As I'm walking through, Godfrey, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem natural. I suspect devilry at work, or his avarice and his need to drive a bargain. I mean, this sounds like a devilish behavior. What do you think?
His power is also extraordinary. I just want to kind of look this guy up and down physically. Check him out in that respect. Is there some tell, a scar, something on his body that might give me some clue?
Give me that medicine check.
Okay.
Can I help him with that?
You're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me.
Natural 20?
I almost want to point the camera at us. It's another natural 20.
It's all right. It's all right. We believe
I'm
you.
not bullshitting. You managed.
We believe you.
That's 25.
Yeah.
25.
That's all right. It's going to be amazing when the
help
DM
you?
starts rolling natural 20s as well.
I'm gonna have the next time I roll a 20, I'm gonna have to say the 10 or something.
Yeah, you just have to lie for the sake of
Yeah.
It's all good. Your medicine check, when you're looking at him, you realize that he has a series of scars. But you're not, well, I mean, you did kill Everardus. The scars that he bears seem to be, if they run where they look like they're running, because there's one that runs sort of across his clavicle. There's another one that runs along his exposed ribs, because they're wearing the white kilts of the Sagetti. They're not wearing a lot of clothing. As a doctor, all of those incisions you would make to remove his organs.
Interesting.
They're mummified.
Okay, so I'll ping back to Doran. Do you have detect evil and good prepared?
I have protect evil and good.
You are definitely right. There is something about this man. It is as though he is. We will talk later when we have more time. I'm doing all this telepathically, by the way.
Yeah.
Give anything away. Let's talk.
So the four of you gather in this quad with the lieutenant, and you are trying to get into the tombs of the various pharaohs that once ruled these lands. We spent much time in there. We've lost many, many, many slaves. I do hope that you die close to the entrance. It will save me a journey of having to come and find your corpses. Anyway, good luck. The entrance is through there, he says, and he points to that construction ditch that you saw before, Doran.
I turn to the lieutenant and ask him, just what is it exactly you would do with our bodies, Lieutenant?
He gives you this horrific smile. You have never seen such black and yellow stubs of rotting teeth as you see in this man's mouth. And the aroma is so raw that it almost feels like he's kissed you with tongue and tonsil. It's so intimate. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Why, we would, of course, eat you. And then he gestures.
I wonder, are they some kind of? I wonder if there's some kind of ghoul king situation going on here. You know. I don't know. All right. As we're going towards this opening, can I just do a very straightforward? Is there a physical trap about drop my head kind of a scan of this thing?
You certainly can have a good gander at it.
Mm.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Or an investigation if you want to spend some time looking.
I can help you with perception as a dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, got nothing.
I'm gonna message into Doran's head. Are we bringing Kelly's heroes with us, or do we let them go?
I think we bring them, Gemini. They may help us get through some of the more difficult times, which we are undoubtedly having ahead of us.
Mm.
Will they be willing, or will we be more streamlined without them? I've asked you two different questions that aren't actually the opposite
Yeah.
of each other. I know.
I mean, my thought was that they were going to help us get all the way to the center of this labyrinth. And it might be helpful. They have unique skills.
Very well.
Maybe they're going to...
Have you asked them?
I have not. I turn to Kelly, therefore, and say, Kelly, will you accompany us? Will you and your men accompany us further into this tomb?
We are with you until the very end.
Stay close. This smells wrong. Doran walks into the tunnel. Like Aragorn, I do not fear death.
But shorter.
But a bit short.
Oh, goodness. You enter into the darkness that is this space, and it is indeed dark. Who does not have dark vision?
Do I still have the eyes of the night you gave me at some
Yeah, it's
point?
8 hours.
Oh,
Eyes
yeah.
of Night is,
Yeah,
is
you're
I believe
right.
it's 8 hours. I'll double check.
Sounds good.
Everardus, the darkness in this space is so complete that
It's 1 hour. So I'm going to spend another spell slot to give everyone their Eyes of
it
Night back again.
immediately vanishes as Doran casts the spell.
I do have night vision. I know, obviously, you can see really far with Eyes of Night, but I'm just wondering whether one of our heroes might benefit from it instead of me.
Yeah, they don't have dark vision.
Was one, last time I gave it to the one that had a ranged attack. I think there was an archer or a mage.
There's a sorcerer, Odinum. There's a bard. Otherwise, there's Kelly, who's ranged here.
So Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, give it to Kelly.
I would suggest that one of our men goes ahead first. Scout. Yeah?
Well, let me send Saul. He's easier to restore than a commando.
All
I'll send
right.
Saul to do a little.
Saul appears and disappears. The passageway that you're in is clearly a mined shaft which connects the outer edge of the slave pen through some pretty dense sandstone until it then burrows through another wall into one of the old tombs. And it is obvious that this room, a fairly large room, is used as a sorting, collecting, and discarding chamber. There are thousands of pairs of desiccated leather sandals and backpacks and smashed clay jars, and there is nothing of value here. There are just large tables where you can imagine crews put down what they've found, sort through the good stuff, chuck out the junk, and they just leave it in this room. The room itself has 5 exits that all seem to lead down into darker spaces. And scratched onto the walls of each of them are the different names to which these corridors lead, the different tombs. Castepi is not amongst any of them.
That's not surprising. It's also encouraging. It means they haven't morally looted it.
Godfrey,
I
can you
have-
apply some of your intelligence and try and figure out, from a time perspective, which one would be kind of like from a, just in case of the oldest one going
Yeah.
first?
I know what you mean.
Because you were in the library for a long time, you were looking through all
Yeah.
these records.
I'm
And we
also
had the
thinking,
map
though,
as well.
I forget where we were with your tattoo, Gemini. Can we?
Yes, I was just about to suggest, shall we have a look and see if it's giving us any clue as to where we need to go?
Yeah.
The tattoo narrows it down to 3, as they are all in a similar kind of direction. Your sense is that it's to the east of where you currently are. Southeast-ish.
Okay.
So that narrows it down to 3 corridors. This then takes us into a skill challenge, as you have triggered this idea now. And so the very first question is history. You need 6 successes before 3 failures.
Yeah. Well, I got +8 history, so
Feels
go
like
ahead.
your area.
okay. Ugh. 13. 5 on the dice. Bit shit.
That is your first failure.
Baka.
You have chosen the name of one of the Pharoses, an individual by the name of Mnitaaknan, because you thought that was the oldest of the Pharoses and closest to Castepi III. Unfortunately, it led you into a particularly nasty encounter with some tumbling rocks, collapsed cave-ins, and so all 4 of you suffer 19 points of damage.
Ugh.
Next up, as you try and backtrack and rejig your plan of action, I would require an investigation check from anybody else other than Gottfried.
Plus
Is there
0.
any chance that Maritati can sort us out a little bit before we go?
Moritati the healer, yes, indeed, he can. He will give you the obligatory 25 back. He warns you he does not have an infinite number of those. And
Indeed.
the damage was done to the entire core, by the way. All
Right,
of them
yeah.
suffered this damage, so he's healing you over them.
Do any look as if they're in trouble?
No, they've got some scrapes and bruises and that sort of thing, but they don't look bloodied.
They all had that 11 temporary hit points as well from the...
Correct, so it
Well,
was
that's
only
not
8
true.
damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly, can your fine individuals provide assistance?
You want them to make the investigation check? Sure.
Well, what's I mean,
I'm a +2.
yeah,
Plus 0.
I'm -1.
I'm willing to have a little investigate.
Otherwise, Kelly is happy to make a call.
What do we think, team?
What do you
Is
say?
it
You
more
had
investigative than Gemini?
I think your skills might be best spelt elsewhere, Gemini.
I've spent some time tracking down the enemies.
Excellent. We shall rely on you, my dear.
Yeah.
Very good. In which case, one of the 4 of you will roll, if you please, and just give me the number.
Maurice, another nat 20.
15.
15 plus his 4 gives you your first success.
Nice.
Say what?
I'm going on the principles that the tomb you were after, Selkos did not get anywhere near. Therefore, I'm following where there are no footsteps. That's his plan, anyway.
Yep.
That removes him from the board. Next up, from any of the 3 of you, I need a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving. I've got a
Yes.
+2.
Sadly, if you are
+5.
following empty corridors that have not been trod on before, It means that the ancient acid traps still remain in place.
And I have
Now yours is
resistances
better
to
than mine.
poisons as well. So if I'm going ahead following Kelly, then maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is another success. 2 successes, 1 failure thus far. You are about to step forward when you realize that there's this very small, salty buildup on the walls. And you prevent Kelly from stepping forward. You tap down on the flagstone in front of you, and this gush of sand acid spews across the chamber, self-drains, and resets itself. But now you know how to avoid it. And
She
so
winks
you
at him
do.
and says, "You can thank me later."
You didn't think it was possible for Sajetti to glow in the dark, but it positively does.
Nice.
Following that, you come across a rather curious chamber. And this is for Avaradis or Doran. I need either of you to give me a stealth check. Because the chamber appears to be guarded by a nest of flesh-eating scarabs.
I've got a disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll handle this. I wink as he rolls. A 12.
Yay!
Avaradis handles the flesh-eating scarabs by apparently trying to attract them all to himself, allowing the rest of the party to sneak through. Sadly, there are more scarabs than Avaradis, and so damage is incurred.
Gemini is smiling whilst they're attacking Avaradis, but
And then they
happy.
start attacking Gemini too.
Yeah.
So that is... And the last one, oh, lucky. 21 points of damage to everybody. As you fight off the flesh-eating scarabs.
How are our team looking?
Moritati is going to have to look after his people.
Good.
Yeah, I'm going to down a potion of greater healing, I think.
Yeah,
Or do we
bought
want
5 of them each, didn't we?
Ooh. Yeah. At some point, I'm going to want a short rest just to replenish spell slots. Do we want to do that before we go further? Because then I could spend some hit dice and not use them.
So in the middle of this chest, you wouldn't be able to take a short rest.
Okay. All right. I'll just drink the potion.
How is Moritati looking? Are they healing themselves?
They're fine. They're
Okay,
healing.
cool.
He's healing his people. He can't heal you, unfortunately. He needs to
Yeah,
use
that's
2
fine.
of his
Gemini's very
charges.
much keeping an eye on him just in case he needs healing because she's got some healing
Yes.
potion.
Oh, no. They're back to full now with his ability there. So this is for Doran only.
Yeah, don't worry. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one.
What you got?
What have I
What
got?
guy?
Oh, dear. Survival check, please. You have reached this large cavern, and over this cavern is an ancient stone bridge. The cavern descends about 50 feet into what looks to be an abandoned rocky gulch, which may once have contained flowing water. Now it is nothing but jagged rocks. So go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Can Gemini whisper some words of encouragement in Doran's ear and give him
You
bardic
can.
inspiration?
Always.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, when Doran heard the word gulch, he was sold already. So.
Yes.
All right. That's, what is it, a D8 or a D10 or a D12?
I think it's a D6. Sorry.
I'm not going to use it. I got a 22.
22. Brilliant. 3 successes, 3 to go. 2 failures, 1 to go. You realize that the bridge itself, unfortunately, is the trap. It would not hold a fly. And so you use the ropes that you and Kelly and the rest of his team have got, and you jury-rig away across this gulch. The next chamber that you find, this is again open to everybody. The next chamber is unusual. It's guarded by a rather vexing undead spirit, which asks one of those irritating riddles. What walks on 2 legs, then 3 legs, then hops on a Tuesday, but on Wednesday it reads the newspaper, and I've given you its name type of thing. What's the name? And you're like, don't be stupid, right? I require from any one of you an intimidation check to put this spirit in its place.
Not only do I have a +7, but talking to spirits is kind of my bag. I've definitely got this one.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dirty 20. That's
Dirty 20. That's what we like to hear. Lovely. So how do you put the spirit in its place?
I grasp it by its shoulders, firmly. Always a good start.
Yes.
And then I wag a finger and go, look here. Enough of this. This is folly. One more word out of you, and you don't want to know what I did to the last spirit. It pissed me off.
I'll nod in the background going,
I like it. You get through past that spirit, and you arrive at a trike, a 3-way intersection. And this 3-way intersection, it's not clear which one would lead you deeper into these tombs or start taking you to some surface exit somewhere. I need a perception check from one of the 3 of you, or you can rely on the team.
+8.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go with your +8. And you've got
Yeah.
that bardic inspiration
bardic.
still.
yeah.
Here we go. Incoming. So that's a 22 already.
Oh, beautiful. 5 successes, 2 failures. You need 1 more success or 1 more failure. To give you a sense of time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has now been 8 hours since you entered this space. Each of these is an hour in terms of its time frame, just slowly moving through these ancient galleries. You get to a chamber, and I need a wisdom saving throw from anyone who has not yet rolled, which I think is Godfried and Gemini?
I feel like Gottfried's wiser than Gemini.
I mean, a saving throw. Well, I had +5 on a wisdom saving throw.
I think that's yours, darling.
All right.
Bardic him up as well because
Yeah,
could be a make or
and
break.
as she sees him start to look a bit like, ooh, she's gonna be, Gottfried, you got this. And gives him she trails down his arm with a little squeeze.
Don't give the man
Like
a
she's
heart.
squeezing his bicep.
You know, you're
Gottfried-
dealing with a man with a weak heart, so be careful. Okay,
His weak heart might be pushed because this looks like it is a forgotten library.
Oh.
He's like brushing your hand off, going. Unfortunately, I rolled a 1. Your bardic inspiration is a D6.
6.
Shitballs. This is going to be a fail, I think. So that's 9.
That is your 3rd failure.
Sorry. We don't have any inspiration anywhere.
No, you don't sit around the table. I can't throw discs at you, so forget to give it out. And so far, the only inspiration that I'd be giving would be inspiration for evil.
Evil.
And it has to be pronounced like that.
If you want evil, I can do.
We know that.
We know.
Yeah.
If you want to.
It's very biblical of you, man. It's very Pontius Pilate, you know?
Gemini has been totally blanking you most of this time, apart from
Oh, yeah.
sniggering anytime anything bad has happened to you these whole 8 hours. Just so you know.
38 damage to everybody.
Okay.
Yes, same.
you're down.
Yep.
I'm on 3.
And it gets worse. Because that chamber that Godfried was trying to walk past, but everything in his body was saying, stop, look, see what you can see. That chamber was not empty. And I am going to need initiatives from everybody, please.
Even those of us that are down?
Well, except for those of you that are
Or are those
down.
maybe some death saving rolls?
Those are what we're gonna need. Yeah. Okay.
Somebody revive
Right.
me.
So, in terms of the saving throws, where's my little list? Doran, what did you get?
Dirty 20.
Nice. Godfried? Oh, you're down.
Yeah. I got an 18 in case I get brought up.
Okay. Gemini?
Or you.
I'm also down, but I've got an 11 in case I get brought back up.
Okay. And Avery?
I've got an 11, and I'm up and kicking on 3 hit points.
And you're up and kicking. I like this. It's good to be up and kicking. Okay. Give me a second here. And so, staring out of what can best be described as this librim is this very stoic, humanoid-ish face, almost Sagetti. Well, definitely Sagetti, but it's hooded with a Sagetti crown, but it makes it look almost like a lion. And its eyes are just pure white energy. Its initiative is also 26. Jesus. So it goes first. Huh. Okay.
Oh.
See, this is what happens when you don't read the Monsters Manual 5.24 and then you choose a monster. You're like, what? Okay. The very first thing that it does is this creature emanates a roar. It releases this very unusual roar. It sounds like a waterfall. But then it sounds like a waterfall that contains heavy things. So perhaps not a waterfall, perhaps instead it's more like an avalanche. And so everybody within 300 feet, because that's a range, apparently Monsters Manual 5.24 is like, we're just going to give everybody range. I mean, what's this 400-foot dark vision thing that you've got going? Anyway, we're not complaining. Everybody needs to give me a wisdom saving throw. Those of you that are alive.
Wait. 13 plus 6, 19.
19 is a pass.
17.
17 is a pass. And there is no...
Well, we can't hear it, so it can't affect us, right?
It can't affect you for another reason, because your brains are currently off. Yes.
I don't believe that Gottfried's brain is off even when he's out.
Even when he's dying. Yeah, perhaps.
Still clicking.
So that is what that does. Okay. And sorry, I'm just, it's not what it used to be. And so with that, Doran, what are you doing?
Looking at this creature, guy,
Yes.
does it look like a serious piece of work?
It does, because you realize that the Sagetti face with that crown that made it look like a mane, the rest of the body you thought was a Sagetti torso with arms, and then it stepped forward to make that loud, roaring avalanche-like sound, and you realize that its body is definitely lion-like, and the whole thing is made out of stone.
Holy crap. I'm looking around. We have 2 people down.
Yep.
How does our group
Oh,
look?
yes, your group, because it's 300
I was-
feet. It's like, oh my God.
Yep. I'm very glad that they got healed.
Our
I am
group
too-
and
well-
anyone they've ever met.
But
On a roll of an 8, they fail, and they collectively fail, not rolling it 9 times. And so they take 35 points of damage. Most of the group is down. Because 35 is carry the 2, 72. Yeah. No, actually, most of the group are severely bloodied and looking very, very miserable right now. Doran.
8,000 gold. 8,000 gold. Doran reaches into his pack, pops open a can of pop, drinks down the potion of mind control monster, and casts the dominate monster spell on this creature. Wisdom, DC 15 save.
Would that be considered a charmed effect? Dominate monster.
Probably.
verified.
Let's see. But it's got to make
Yes.
a saving throw anyway. It
Charmed
is
condition.
Your potion, you feel powerful. You cast this thought to dominate this thing, and it's like asking a statue to suddenly stand up and do the polka.
Damn it.
$8,000.
Damn it. Well, I mean, look, we're toast, guys. What the hell are we going to do?
I have no idea, because now we go to Godfried, who has to make his first death saving throw.
All right. 16, so one pass.
One pass. Yay.
There's a weak yay, man.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Gemini.
Feel it.
Gemini.
Ooh. Oh, that's a 3.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go.
Okay. You know, if you lose a character 3 times, you get to DM next. And that
It'll be
that
so fluffy.
well, Brendan's in the lead at the moment because even though he came back, it still counts as losing. Avery, what are you doing?
I honestly wish I could tell you, guy. Trying?
I mean, I do hope that you do, or are we just going to sit here for 7 minutes?
Okay. Doran, you bought us all health potions, did you?
Yeah, everyone has like 5 of them.
Okay. I'm going to burn one of them on.
As a
I'm gonna
bonus action or a full action?
full action on one of our compatriots. I'm going to roll a d8 on 1 to 4. It's going to be Gottfried. On 6 to 8, it's going to be. There you go. Well, it's Gemini.
Considering she's been giving you the cold shoulder, I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Godfried killed him, you know.
Yeah.
Is that old chestnut?
Maybe you feel
there's only
guilty
so
about
many
it.
bridges.
Gemini is just a little bit more attractive than Gottfried. So,
Ah.
Depends on your
Only
type.
the whole lifelong friend versus.
Person
All right.
whose baby you threatened.
Yeah, I've got to
Yeah, a bit of a
unburn
guilty
some
conscience
bridges.
there.
I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I think it's
All right, so what is the healing on the healing potion?
Doran, can you remind me?
It's a greater, wasn't it?
4d4 plus 4.
44 plus 4. That's
And
nice,
do you,
isn't it?
if it's
20.
the full action, did you
Full is
say
20,
it's
20,
full?
yeah. 20
Yeah,
points.
it's 20 hit points, correct. So Gemini, you get 20 hit points back. You come unfortunately on that initiative, which already passed. So that was your action, Avery. Anything else?
Yeah.
Bonus action?
Bonus action. I'm going to use my Hexblade's curse. I'm going to summon my accursed blade and draw my other in my arm.
How does that
point
look
it-
like? What does that look like? Just remind
So
us.
as it's manifest from myself, you can see the broiling shadows. Kind of, they spill from my mouth at first, and then coalesce around my arm, and then shoot forth from my left hand, in the reverse of a burst of light. In a burst of darkness, pulls in the light from around it. It feels
Lovely.
in the shape of this, rather ornate-looking rapier that has the Alphonse family crest on it, and from the blade, I sort of do a flicking gesture, and a globule of shadow bursts forth, and it hits the creature in the eye and melts its way into its flesh.
Oh.
You can almost maybe see it shudder, perhaps. Cursed.
Would it count as necrotic?
No, it's just it's a sort of it's an effect that will give me bonuses as I do things
Okay,
to it.
that's fair enough.
It's
All right. Callie and his troop now will do their very best to engage this creature. And so I will make an attack for them. And here we go. Callie and his group. Let me just do a quick math here. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them now. Okay, so 7 plus 7. Right, here we go. Oh, a natural 1. That's their first attack. Second attack is 16. They throw magic at it. They throw arrows at it. There's swords that ping and pong around the whole thing, and they do nothing to it, unfortunately.
Oh shit!
No
They
effect.
don't hit it?
Yeah, their various bits and bobs don't work. Oh wait, their last attack was a natural 20. I was like, they've got three attacks. I didn't roll twice. The third attack is a natural 20. So, would someone please roll for me 7d10? I think Scott, you've got a digital roller, don't you?
Yeah, I use
Just type in 7d10, please. I've written a new rule system for group maths, which I actually wanted to send to you, Maurice, to have a read through. And I think it could work quite well.
36 in total.
36 damage in total to this creature. All right, thank you very much. So that's what they do to it after its various resistances, etc., etc., etc. This takes us to the top of the round. Duran, you are up next.
Okay, well, I'm going to run over and bring Gottfried up. So I'm going to cast... actually, I'm going to feed him a potion, so he gets 20 hit points.
Nice.
Like I
And
should.
I think that's all I can do because Channel Divinity is a full action. So that's it.
Okay. Following him is Gottfried.
Right. Okay, so I stand up and I yes. What do I do? I haven't seen what's just passed, so I don't get any sense of what this thing is resistant to, and so on. All right, I'm just going to try. Bear with me one moment. Is there any way I can catch it and no one else in a fireball? I suppose
No.
not.
No.
Okay.
Not in this library.
Oh, it's a library. no fireball.
Books.
No fireball. In that case, I'm going to do the one thing that gives me pinpoint precision. Good old-fashioned magic missile, upcast at level 3. So that's 5d4. Plus 1. Each of these looks like a quill.
Looks like a quill, writes like a quill, therefore it must be a toaster.
Stabs like a dagger. Looks like a quill. Yeah.
Gallows humor guy.
Throws point blank. Stab in the face. With a pen. So 7, 9, 12. That's a pretty good roll. 15 plus 5. 20 points of damage. Force damage.
20 points damage. Beautiful. Beautiful. And it's arcane, right?
It's force damage, yeah.
Force damage, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Right.
And if I can move out of the melee without getting an opportunity attack, I will.
Yes, you can. It's not too much of a problem. This thing is distracted. by a whole lot of things that are going on. It gets to act, because it should have acted before Doran, as a matter of fact, but that's okay. Its action does its breath weapon recharge. 5 or a 6, and I get a 1. So no, it does not recharge, thank goodness. So it's just going to make 3 attacks, and I'm going to randomly choose. There are 5 of you, so with the troops counting as 1. So 1, 2, it's Godfrey. 3, 4, it's Alvaradas. 5, 6, it's Doran. 7, 8, it's Gemini. 9, 10, it's the troops. First attack is an 8. 7, 8, Gemini.
It me.
You've just got up, and it tries to slam you with one of its claws. A great big stone claw comes.
Somebody needs to file their claws.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, it rolled a natural 1, so apparently it already had. So it misses you there. Second attack, another 8. So apparently it found that comment quite catty. But that would only be an armor class of 12.
Oh, come on, darling.
Oh.
I'm a 15.
Third attack is.
Gosh, this
for-
happens to everyone, I know.
It's a 6, so that's against
me.
Doran. Yes, Doran, the third
File
attack.
that under meow.
Oh my goodness. Another natural 1.
Oh, it's afraid of the little guy.
Apparently. Yeah, you were afraid, not anymore. Gottfried, what are you doing?
Me
Oh,
again.
No, you've acted
he
already,
went
haven't
already.
you? Yes, sorry, my apologies. Yeah. Gemini.
Okay, so having seen that display from this monster, she realizes maybe it's a little bit off her game, and then she starts to laugh. It becomes more musical and almost inspiring. And in fact, I'm going to use my bonus action for Mantle of Inspiration. And that means that 5 creatures within 60 feet of me can gain temporary hit points equal to 2 times the number I roll on the Bardic Inspiration, which apparently is 1d8. So maybe I lied to you earlier. That's a 1. Okay, so that's 2 temporary hit points to you 3, plus Kelly, and plus our healer.
Times 2.
Oh, how exciting. 2 whole hit points. But you also can use your reaction to move up the full amount of your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Yeah, I'll
so
be doing
that's
that.
Mantle of Inspiration on yours. And then for my action itself, I'm not 100% if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a go, and then we'll know that this type of thing doesn't work if it doesn't work. I'm going to cast my... What's the name of it? Ray of Sickness, because this thing is sickening me. And that is a ranged attack. Ray of Sickness. Oh, yeah. It's +8 to attack. 18? That hit?
It is a hit.
Nice.
Oh, yay. So that is... Now, this is like necromantic poison damage. Does this affect this being?
Is it necrotic or is it poison?
Well, it says a school of necromancy, but the damage is poison.
Oh, that's fine. It's poison then.
Okay. Yeah, and then that's 2d8 damage. Oh, this d8 has kept on rolling ones for me. Okay, that's 6 total damage, poison damage.
All right.
And it's poisoned, right?
Might not be.
On the hit to the yes, poisoned condition until the end of my next turn.
Nice.
Great. Remind me what the poison condition is now. It's
It's
minus.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, so pretty much the same.
Right. Okay, now I forgot to do this last time because I always forget to do this for various reasons. It gets to take an action. And its action is to look at you, Gemini. I kid you not, this was not chosen for this specific reason because I didn't know it had this power. But it looks at you and you need to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's an 18.
Yes, that's what we're looking for. Okay, great stuff. Nothing seems to happen. Averados.
Yeah. I would like to stab this creature very much.
You then stab it, sir. Stab it, I say. Stab it.
The first lunge comes with the magical Averados rapier, which, weirdly enough, he wields with his left arm rather than his dominant right hand. It comes in strong, a strong thrust straight to the center. We shall roll for it and see what happens. Ooh, that's a 26 to hit.
Beautiful. How do you skewer this rocky beast?
Piercing damage. That's 10 piercing damage for the first of many more strikes to come.
All right, make your attacks.
Roars in agony. We'll see. Another 26 to hit.
Okay.
We'll take that. More damage. I can actually re-roll one of my damage dice, and that was only a 2, so I'm going to do that because I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly better with a 3, so that's a 7 total there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third strike with the final non-magical rapier as I cut in past its guard.
Mm-hmm.
26 to hit again. Rolled 19 3 times in a row.
Brilliant.
That's my boy.
There we go. That's a 9 damage on that last attack.
Very good, very good, very good. That's your turn done, yes?
Oh! But the curse! You see, the Hexblade curse!
Yes,
Nice.
I rolled 19 on each of those rolls, did I not?
you did.
Well, because it's cursed, any attack I've made against the creature is a critical on a 19 or 20.
Oh, that's right.
And all 3 of those were
Nice.
19s.
Oh.
I'll have you know.
All right, so roll
How
your
do you
damage
do your
again.
criticals?
It's just double the
You-
dice.
Just double the dice.
So
I
you
will
just roll the dice
3
again.
more
Yeah.
damage dice.
Sweet.
The first one is 12 damage. The second one is 11 damage. The third one is another 11 damage.
44,
And-
very nice.
You gain bonus damage to rolls against the cursed damage. The bonus equals your proficiency. So we'll do that for, what, all 6 of those dice rolls? Or just the 3 actual rolls I rolled?
The 3
What did you
actuals.
say?
3 actuals.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So it gains bonus damage equal to my proficiency. So 3 times 3 is 9.
Right. Are you quite done?
I believe so.
You quite finished, sir.
Quite done.
Kicking the shit out of our lovely Svincy guy.
Yes, you are indeed correct when you say it roars in agony. For it does indeed roar with agony.
And then I'll use that reaction that we have, that lovely one. Yes, I think I will, just to move out of its range without provoking attack.
So you think, well, you do move out of its range and you don't provoke an attack of opportunity because...
Well, we have a reaction from Grace, which I can use at any
Yes.
time, can't I? Just to
Right, got you.
retreat
Okay.
without...
Not a problem, not a problem.
I bow down, I flare
Yes.
both hands, I bow out and retreat
Brilliant.
graciously.
Brilliant, brilliant. It unfortunately uses its another thingy that it can do at the end of your turn, and it teleports 30 feet behind you and then attacks you with a claw.
No.
And it rolls a 2 and does
Ooh.
nothing, unless your armor class is 10,
Huzzah.
which I doubt. And so then it's up to Kelly's band. They make their attack. They have +7, natural 20 for Kelly's heroes. Please roll 14 d10 damage.
10.
Yeah,
What's got?
you've
How
got
many
the
did you
digital.
say?
14.
14.
Yeah,
Okay, I have to click this button 14 times.
that's only 70 potential damage. Average damage.
This is 99 damage.
99 damage. Fantastic. They destroy this thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
As they do,
Oh.
this spiritual version of this creature rises out of its shattered corpse. And it says in ancient Sageti, but in all of the languages as a matter of fact, that everybody speaks. What is your question? And we'll be back next week. Until then, thanks for watching. And favourite moment is Grace.
Not dying.
Yay! Favourite moment for everybody.
Maurice's eyes when he realized he has yet another question.
Yes. It's really cool, this creature. Really cool. All right, we'll be back next week and for more craziness. And until then, from all of us, goodbye.
Bye.